Welcome to Card Talk. My name is Kiefer Wynn, and this is a new series brought to you by Article Asylum. Basically, in Card Talk, I'm going to be in my car talking about whatever comes to my mind about movies, television, comics, and hopefully you guys like it. If you enjoy this kind of format where it's unscripted and you don't have to go through 1,500 words of me using words a little bit above my own vocabulary just to seem impressive, let me know. Like, share, comment, tell your friends, follow me on Twitter at @GGordonLiddy, follow Article Asylum on Twitter at Article Asylum, and find us on Facebook because we're there too. We also have the podcast up on iTunes now, so if you're looking for a way to spend a couple hours at work, give our first 3 episodes a try. Okay, I'm really excited for this one. I've been waiting forever to start this series off, and this is the topic that I wanted to start on. Wonder Woman. I was able to go to the first ever Wonder Woman screening here in Raleigh at the Regal 14 Theater in Briar Creek. And let me tell you, it was amazing. The experience was amazing. I loved seeing a movie with fans. I never get the opportunity to do that. I don't really go to screenings. I prefer to go and see these movies with a select group of friends on the Friday after it comes out. So, as a first timer, this experience was amazing. Obviously, we got this sweet poster on some other swag from the event. I don't want to go into all that because I can talk about the event and how much fun it was for a little while, and I don't want to take up your guys' time with that. Shout out to WB for putting on a great event. Shout out to Regal, great theater. Enjoyed the experience. Shout out to my friend Pat, who actually came out that night with me because my date flaked. He's a big comics fan, a big DC fan like me, and he enjoyed the film. So let's actually get into that part right now. I know the obvious question you guys have is the movie any good? I'm here to unabashedly tell you, to unreservedly tell you, yes, the movie is excellent. You will love it, without question. If you are into superhero stuff at all, you'll love it. If you're into comic books, you'll love it. If you're into action, you'll love it. If you're into comedy, you'll love it. It's a good feeling. 5 minutes into the movie, I looked at my friend Pat, and he was absolutely enthralled. He was staring at the screen. I was like, oh, maybe this is just a comics guy. Maybe he's just so happy that he sees something that he'd never thought he'd see. Wonder Woman on the big screen in her own solo movie. But I looked around the audience as well, and everyone had that same look on their face. Fans, employees of WB, they're all looking at the screen in trance. And that's an amazing feeling. I don't know what it was like at BVS screenings or Man of Steel screenings or Suicide Squad screenings. But this was an absolutely magical feeling to have so many people united in their admiration and love for a character, all in the same room, enjoying the same visual experience. So yes, the movie is amazing. Let's go through performances first. I don't have a real outline for tonight, so I'm just going to talk of whatever I'm thinking about at the moment. All right, the biggest question: how was Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman? A lot of fans, a lot of people out there who won't be saying that in 2 weeks, were really down on this casting. They said she was too thin. They said she had no acting experience. They didn't think she could pull off the role. They said she looked the part, but she couldn't act it because she wasn't physical enough. Of course, BVS showed that she looked the part and she could act. The real question now around the movie is, can Gal actually carry a movie? Turns out she can. Gal was magnificent. I think she showed a full range of emotions. I think her voice really, really came through well in the film. And I think something she's always been good at: face acting, showing her emotions and drawing the audience into them through the way her face is contoured or contorted. She does a great job of that. She's able to convey naivete, a warlike spirit, modesty, innocence, cynicism, anger, rage, sadness. She does it all very, very well. Gal Gadot was amazing. You are going to love her. My mom's generation grew up on Linda Carter, and they'll always love her. And Linda Carter is great. No shade to her. But when I think of Wonder Woman now, I'm going to think of Gal. That's just how good she was. Supporting cast. I thought they were all really good as well. I liked Dr. Poison. Oh wait, let me get into that later. Let me go into the heroes and good guys first. Chris Pine. Chris Pine is one of my favorite actors. He made me like Star Trek. I think he did a great job here. I think his Steve Trevor was a very good supporting character. He never stole the spotlight, but he added to and enhanced Wonder Woman's story. And I think that's the job of a good supporting character. The thing about Steve that was so difficult is they didn't simply want to reverse the damsel in distress trope and have Steve become the dude in distress, as Patty and Chris said over the course of filming and during the press junkets and interviews. Steve manages to not be a dude in distress. He's decisive, he's courageous. Even if he isn't the star, you can at least understand why he and Wonder Woman are in the same orbit. So again, good job from Chris Pine. Connie Nielsen as Hippolyta. It's great. Regal, she was every inch a queen, owned the screen every single time she was on it. Her accent was on point. Her physicality was on point. Robin Wright. Robin Wright is always amazing in everything. So you know what it is. Like, I'm not going to say anything bad about her because there's nothing bad to say. She was excellent. She looked the part so well. She looked like a warrior. She was muscular. She was toned. She had the calm and assured air of someone who always knew what they were about and who was trained well enough to deal for any exigency. She was very, very good. I could list some other names, but suffice it to say, I think all of the characters. Etta Candy is also a great character in there. She provides the comic relief, and she's very good at it. It would have been easy to turn her into a one-note character, but instead, Etta Candy became kind of a useful foil, and she never got in the way. She always added to the scene instead of taking away from it by inserting a little bit of levity into the proceedings. So well done from that actress as well. Supporting cast overall is very, very good. The Amazons, even those who didn't speak, were just amazing. They were all muscular, they were fit, they were formidable warriors, and they really, really looked and sounded the part. Let me circle back to Gal for a second. I think her accent really serves her well. I'm glad that they allowed her to keep it because it really gave her an aura of mystery, particularly when she came off the island and went to London. The villains were great. These aren't spoilers, so Ludendorff, Dr. Poison, absolutely excellent. I truly enjoyed both of them. They really elevated the movie. It would have been possible for lesser actors and actresses to kind of bring the movie down by just mailing in a performance, but neither one of them did it. They both played their roles with aplomb, so I give them credit for that. The main villain, awesome as well. Again, not a spoiler. Having talked about the actors, I want to talk about someone who is responsible for this movie, perhaps more than anybody else, and that's Patty Jenkins. First of all, thank you, Patty, for making an amazing Wonder Woman movie, for making the first ever female superhero movie wonderful. Like, you deserve all of the applause and all the plaudits you're going to get for this. For not having directed a feature film in 14 years, you absolutely killed it. The cinematography was wonderful. The scene, every scene was beautifully shot, especially the parts of the Greek mythology. Those are excellent. Those are innovative. They were interesting. Nothing but good things to say. I think you really brought a great performance out of Gal, and I think you accurately portrayed the tension between naivete and cynicism. I think you created a Wonder Woman film that is accessible to all levels of society. I think it's accessible to both male and female. I think anybody that sees Wonder Woman will recognize qualities and ideals that they themselves want to emulate. So Patty Jenkins has done an amazing job. I can't say that enough. Let me address something really quick to my fellow DCEU fans. So if you're not a DC fan, you haven't liked Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, or Suicide Squad, this probably isn't going to be for you, so you can go ahead and skip forward a couple minutes. I know a lot of us who loved Man of Steel, who loved BVS, who recognized in those movies the pinnacle of what comic book movies could be. Serious, self-conscious tales told in a naturalistic setting about real issues with context and depth, with intellectual sophistication, with narrative structure that resembles comic books. For those of us who love Man of Steel, BVS, and maybe Suicide Squad, we might be worried that Wonder Woman might not be good because of the type of people who are praising it. The type of people who had nothing but bad things to say about Batman v Superman or Man of Steel, who continually deride DCEU fans. Let me tell you, even though those kind of people are behind this movie and support it, you have no reason to be alarmed. You will love it. Gal Gadot absolutely kills it. The story is serious enough so that those of us who like Man of Steel and BVS can appreciate that it's self-conscious and not just sugar and spice and everything nice. But also has a humor that works. The humor isn't forced. It always arises naturally from the interaction of characters or the context that the characters are in. It's never simply shoehorned into a scene to make it more fun. So we have nothing to worry about. You can feel confident in going to see this movie knowing that you will like it. Also, this will be a film, as a DCEU fan, you can show to non-DCEU fans and say, hey, look, everyone says it's good. This is good. We don't have to spend 30 minutes before giving you a list of things not to think about this movie after it starts. We don't have to write treatises. We don't have to write defenses. Everyone loves it. You're going to love it. To non-DCEU fans, people who think that the DC universe has been too dark, that it's lacked fun and humor, you'll love this movie too. Because this movie is unabashedly funny in places. It's unabashedly willing to poke fun and to have some levity. Like you'll enjoy that. I think this movie isn't too somber or too serious at all. And I think this is a movie you can go to with your DC fans. Say, look, I might not like Man of Steel and BVS. It's too dark, it's too heavy, it's too complex, it's too challenging. But this Wonder Woman movie, it has amazing themes as well. It has amazing performances. It's got great cinematography. So, together, we can enjoy the DC universe for this movie. So, DC fans, non-DC fans, you will both love this movie. Now let me jump on to something else. This being the first ever female superhero movie. First of all, let me just flex by saying DC is doing the progressive game great. 4 movies, we have the diverse cast of Suicide Squad, including female co-leads, 2 female villains, 2, a black male lead, Will Smith, obviously, and now in our 4th movie, the first ever female superhero movie. You know, some studios will take a decade and a half to get there. DC does it first. So just put that out there. No shade to anybody or anything. Just gonna go ahead and say that. Um, but what does that mean to me? Look, I'm not a woman. I don't have that specific perspective. But as a member of a traditionally underserved comic book community, I feel a real kinship for those that are glorying in the fact that the first female superhero movie has been made, has been produced, and will be released on June 2nd. It's a big day because Wonder Woman is such an iconic character that she deserves to have her story told far and wide. She deserves to be known. And I'm glad that that's happening now. And the great thing about Wonder Woman is she is indeed a feminist icon, showing women that they can be powerful, strong, confident, competent in the face of males who are prone to dismiss her. That's true. But she's also an icon to those of us who admire courage, character, a high ideals. As a man, I can appreciate those things as well. And I love the character, especially as it's being portrayed now by Gal Gadot. So maybe I don't have the specific feminine perspective, but as a man and a black man, I respect and appreciate the fact that this means so much to them. And I'm glad that it's happening. Moving on. Wait, no, let me say this. For me, a great portrayal of Wonder Woman is one that makes me think of my own mother. A woman that is very smart, who is high character, who is courageous, who is loving, who's vulnerable, and who cares for other people. And that's the version that we got. That was my original um, list that I was going to judge Gal's performance against. Does Gal remind me of my own mother at her best? And she did. So shout out to Gal. Shout out to my mom. My mom. You might not watch this, but I hope you do. All right, moving on to final thoughts. Please go see this movie. Make it profitable for studios to invest in their female characters, to promote their female characters and traditionally underserved comic book populations. Make this movie a success. Tell every single one of your friends, look, we may not see any other movie all year except for Justice League. Yeah, y'all thought I wasn't going to say it. Justice League 2. We may not see any other movie this year, but we are all going on opening weekend to see Wonder Woman. And then the next weekend, we'll get those two friends that didn't go because they thought we wouldn't notice them. And we're taking them too. And we're going to keep seeing it after it goes to the $5 theater, then the $2 theater, and then we're going to buy the DVDs. We're going to wear the t-shirts. We're going to rock the posters. And we're all going to listen to Article Asylum talk about it. So make this movie a success. Second of all, this movie will do two things at the same time. It'll save the DCU and also not save it. Let me address the second thing first. The DCEU does not need to be saved. It does. It's making plenty of money. People are excited about it. For as much as the loud voices online tell you that everybody hates the DCEU, that is not true. That's just not true. It continues to make money, continues to be for the fans, by the fans. We continue to get great movies. So the DCEU is fine. It doesn't need salvation. But it also will help save the DCEU in the minds of tastemakers, people who have spent and spilled ink and time telling everyone how the DCEU is failing, will finally have an incentive to sit down and be humble and appreciate the fact that DC knows what they're doing. They've employed great directors and they are making good movies. At least for Wonder Woman, anyway. And take that and appreciate that as a DCU fan. That we're finally getting some critical acclaim. Because this day is never promised again. Justice League is coming out in November, and who knows what might happen with that. So take that and appreciate that. And try not to antagonize people who, you know, will do their best to strip down Justice League. And while we're on that subject of Justice League, let me say, again, as a DCEU fan, I have nothing but love and admiration for Zack Snyder, Deborah Snyder, and the rest of his family, and I hope and pray that they find peace after the tragedy of March. Movies don't matter. I'm glad you're taking the time off, Mr. Snyder, to be with your family and to really heal. So we're here for you and we love you and we expect nothing from greatness from you, whether or not you do a movie ever again. So I just want to put that out there. Thank you for all you've done, by the way, and for all the crap that you've taken from people who don't appreciate you. We here in the DCEU appreciate you. Okay, that's it. That's the review. Patty Jenkins does a great job crafting a movie that is very Richard Donner-esque. She made it clear that she looked to Richard Donner's version of Superman as a inspiration for Wonder Woman, that she wanted to create a fun family movie that still told a great story of a warrior princess, a warrior god, who really, really makes an impact on the world. Even though the cynicism is introduced, she remains a character of high ideals. There's an inspiration to all of us. And there will be a couple of what's the word I'm looking for here? There will be a couple of comparisons made to the first Avenger, but frankly, they're not in the same league. Sure, they're period pieces and there's a world war going on, but Wonder Woman is clearly superior. It's just a different type of movie. No shade at Chris Evans or the first Avenger. Chris Evans is probably the best casting pick in comic book movie history, if not Robert Downey Jr. Ben Affleck. But Wonder Woman is just superior in every respect. I'm pumped, guys. Like, I really am. I loved this movie. I loved seeing it early. I loved experiencing it with the fans. I'm going to go see it Friday after it comes out, probably Saturday too. And we're going to be podcasting about it for the next couple of weeks at Article Asylum. This has been the Car Talk series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback, feel free to get at me on Twitter, @GGordonLiddy, or Article Asylum on Twitter, @Article Asylum. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Facebook. Hit me up on Facebook too. I'm Kiefer. This has been Car Talk for Article Asylum. I'll see you guys later.